Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to start off now the next and final node of the global section for Dark Dimension 7. Now, this is arguably the hardest node of all of Dark Dimension 7, so you definitely want to be careful which teams you can use. We did okay in the previous node global, but we saw that the synergy of Cabal was really good with Black Knight and Nightcrawler. The only other team that I've seen having pretty good success is a full Extreme X-Men team, or you can slot in Black Knight for one of those pieces. Otherwise, you can also get away with the Illuminati, but you know, Captain Brexit is basically required if you want that kind of team synergy. So I think the two safest choices is, Extreme X-Men if you have mutant gear, and if you don't, Cabal plus this hybrid mixture of Nightcrawler and Black Knight can at least power you through with multiple attempts. So without further ado, let's get started, guys, in our first attempt here for this last and final node of the global in Dark Dimension 7. Okay, so this is the placement I have, and as you can see, my Black Knight is still a bit banged up from the previous node finishing it up, but I tried a couple resets, guys, and what I found out from the very first time when you're starting this node, especially if you're using the same team as me, is that I think we're doomed to fail in this first attack. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm just doing damage. I'm just going to use my basic abilities. Let them go ahead and use their ultimates on our team, because it's really hard to get through this initial first wave, especially with those lizards using their ultimates. You can see that we are up against some Cosmic Ghost Riders, Starbrand. I mean, this is just a really messy way to start things off here, right? So you definitely want to use a potential sacker just to make sure that you guys can actually get those attacks out of the way and then go in strong. So no abilities used, that's super important. Now we're starting off the second attack there. Technically this video will be my first attempt, but I don't really count that first attack there. So we can start off with the huge ultimate on Nightcrawler here, and then we can actually go ahead now and stun one of the Cosmic Ghost Riders. I think that's probably one of the safest choices to work on this, but you want to be mindful now of some of the enemies that have strong abilities. So thankfully our cooldowns were refreshed actually from the previous attack, and we were being able to use our basic abilities to build up energy. You can't really do much against this shield security, so you have to just try and finish him off. If you can get through his taunt, great. And who I recommend stunning and just controlling are probably the Cosmic Ghost Riders, just because they're going to have a lot of barrier whenever you use your ultimate ability anyway. So I think at least slowing them down and doing some AoE attacks, and this is where Cabal is going to shine, because they have their assisted attacks with Iron Patriot, and it shreds. Like, you're going to see some assisted damage from the rest of the Cabal members. They hit like a truck, and I absolutely love it. The synergy with Black Knight and Nightcrawler has definitely been really special to go through the nodes. Even though this is, like I said, one of the harder nodes in Dark Dimension 7, we're actually doing pretty good. Now, 3 out of enemies drop here, and this is where some of the problems in global starts, right? Whenever you guys see Spider Weaver, absolutely make sure you target her or control her in some way, shape, or form. I've heard that she just gives a lot of headaches if you leave her running, and especially if she uses her ultimate ability to get those charges, it just becomes absolutely savage to deal with. So thankfully for us, we actually had Iron Patriot's special ready to go here, but we can save that, because we can still use that for when there's a big oh shit situation that we can actually flip everything, right? So just something to be mindful of there. And thankfully, remember, with Cabal, the important thing is to focus on the cooldowns, right? Make sure you never use the leader's ultimate until both Iron Patriot and Namor's ultimates have been used, or some other abilities, and that way it refreshes everybody. But now we're targeting Fire Weaver. You can see she goes ahead. She does actually get her ability off, but we get some good retaliation attacks there, and we were able to actually just focus in on her. And she's got some bleeds, so she's basically, in my eyes, she's pretty much dead, right? But yeah, now 28 out of 34 enemies remaining. Our cooldowns are looking pretty good. Our Namor is protected in the Shroud, so that's big too. I just love the basic abilities that we can utilize from Iron Patriot. He just hits like a truck, and especially with the assisted attacks, pretty meaningful. But in this wave, it's important to focus on Void Knight, because you can see I'm trying not to make sure he has an attack a turn, especially when he has the ultimate that can actually shred us and add debuffs, which in this case it does happen, but we were trying to prevent that from happening. Thankfully, you can see there's a lot of debuffs. He's basically dead as well. So Now we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good, but this is where some of the other problems occur, right? So even if you did take care of Spider Weaver, there's a Morgan Le Fay that we have to deal with. There's a Doctor Strange Heartless, and as well as Ronan. So this is where I'm feeling a pressure a bit, because these characters can absolutely hit, especially Ronan, and you know, you can see some of these abilities, right? Captain Sam using the speed up. So it is what it is. You probably will fall here, and if not, if anything, try to soak up some of their ultimate abilities, as you saw right there with Doctor Strange Heartless. So in my honest opinion, a really good first attack, and I think we actually took down a good chunk of this initial wave 2, and we were able to take down one of the big Spider Weavers, which was big. So you can see that was officially the 2 attacks there. 230 million damage on the second attack, which is pretty meaningful, guys. So hopefully this is helpful for an attack order, and that way for you guys to see as well what I focused on. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.